Ladies and gentlemen, from Ohio, please welcome Governor John Kasich.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I've got a feeling. I got a feeling, and it's just because I don't like the black-eyed peas. I got a feeling that we're about to elect a new president of the United States of America. And let me tell you why it matters, because it really matters. We need a president who will restore the strength and the power of the American people so we, the people, can rebuild our economy, and so we, the people, can rebuild the United States of America. Plain and simple. We've made real progress in Ohio in restoring confidence, because that's what so much of life is about. And we are setting people free in order to build success. But we need a new partner in Washington. This relationship is just not working. It is holding us back. I'm going to tell you our story. I'm going to tell you the story of Ohio and the story of lessons learned. I took office in 2011, and when I came into office, we were 48th in the nation in job creation. 48th. We had an $8 billion budget deficit, the largest in the history of the great state of Ohio, and we had 89 cents in our rainy day fund. Most toddlers have more than 89 cents in their little piggy banks, let alone what was in our treasury. Our credit rating was headed down the drain, and we had suffered a loss of 400,000 jobs. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the greatest moral issue in America today is job creation. We had lost 400,000 jobs, our people were hurting, and our families were hurting as a result of the recession. In Ohio, we were following a policy of tax, spend, and duck. And that's too much of what politicians do. They want to avoid the tough issues. But when we came into power with my colleagues in the legislature, we took our problems head on. We balanced our budget. That $8 billion deficit was eliminated without a tax increase in the state of Ohio. And we could not raise taxes because we were not competitive. So you know how we did it? We did it the way that a family does it. We sat down and set priorities. We eliminated those programs that we no longer needed. And when government people spend our money, they're very wasteful about it. So we went through it and eliminated those things we didn't need, but we prioritized those things that we really did need. And I'll give you an example. We allowed mom and dad to stay in their own homes, if able, instead of going into a nursing home where the costs were 5 times as high. And when they're in their own home, they're healthier and happier and frankly more independent. And that saved us a lot of money because we made government work better. And that made a heck of a lot of sense for us. We also cut taxes because Ohio needed to be competitive. We were $8 billion in the hole. We balanced the budget, but we cut our taxes. And we cut the income tax. And the reason we cut it is so that Ohio could be competitive. And at the same time, we killed the death tax. We killed the death tax. And we killed that death tax because no person should have to visit the undertaker and the tax man on the same day. And small businesses and farmers should be able to pass on their hard work to the next generation. And we need to do it in Washington as well. And we restored common sense in our regulations. And you know what? We still protect the environment, we protect our families, but we don't overregulate and kill the job creators in our state. In fact, we want to honor the job creators in our state and work with them because they help our families. Now, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, just like what Mitt Romney's going to face, the actions that we took were not always easy, and the actions that we took were not always popular. But you know what? When you get yourself in public service, you must lead and you must do what is necessary. And I want to tell you the good news of where we are today. I told you a minute ago that when we came into office, we were 48th in job creation. You know where we are today? We're 4th in America in job creation and #1 in the Midwest. We went from 89 cents in our rainy day fund to $500 million in surplus, $500 million in surplus from being in the hole. And you know, I watched in horror as we saw the Italians and the French and the Spanish and the Greeks have their credit downgrade. And I remember the night I watched America's credit go downgraded. But in Ohio, instead of our credit going down the drain, our credit outlook has been improved because it's been recognized that we are managing our finances and creating jobs. But ladies and gentlemen, when over those last 4 years we had lost 400,000 jobs, in Ohio today we have grown new jobs by 122,000. 122,000 families better off. But you know what? The wind is in our face. The president has given us headwinds. President Obama has doubled the national debt. You know, I was chairman of the Budget Committee when we balanced the budget in '97, and I look with horror up at that clock that shows $15 trillion in the national debt. That's the sword of Damocles hanging over our children's head. And the president is doing nothing about it. In fact, each year he's increasing that by $1 trillion. $1 trillion. And let me also tell you that the president says his answer to these problems lie in this: more taxes. Let's take more money out of the pockets of the American people and send it to, of all places, Washington, D.C. Can you even believe it? We not only need to balance budgets, we need to cut taxes, not raise them, to get on the right track. And his regulations have had a smothering effect on businesses, and it has paralyzed the job creators. Folks, this is the wrong philosophy. These are the wrong policies. And we need a new leader. And that is exactly why I am for Mitt Romney for President of the United States. You know, I want to tell you about Mitt. He's a business leader. If there is anything we need in government today, it's people who understand how to create jobs, plain and simple. And the people that criticize folks in business just simply don't get it. They've put us in this hole. And Mitt Romney has a history of being a great job creator. Secondly, he was a great governor. He went from billions of dollars in the hole when he became governor to billions of dollars in surplus when he left, and he went from the loss of tens of thousands of jobs when he became governor to the creation of 40,000 new jobs when he left office. And he did it in Massachusetts, of all places, okay? And remember this, beyond his work in business and beyond his work in government, he's a natural leader. He took those Salt Lake City Winter Olympics and took them when they were in peril and headed down the drain. He fixed the Olympics and made every American proud of what he did in Salt Lake City and built a shinier and brighter America as a result. Folks, I want to tell you this. Joe Biden disputes a lot of those facts, but Joe Biden told me that he was a good golfer. And I've played golf with Joe Biden. I can tell you that's not true, as well as all the other things that he says. Folks, for the good of our kids, I know we're at a Republican convention, but this is not about Republican and Democrat. This is about somebody that's going to get this country moving again, restore the strength of our country, energize the people, set them free in a free enterprise system. That's what this is all about. It is about our children. It is about our families. It is about our country. And frankly, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the world, because even though they don't want to admit it, they depend on the United States of America to lead and to bring moral purpose to the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to leave here and march and get to everybody to make sure that Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan are President and Vice President of the United States. Thank you all very much.